Mid-Range Hunter, and Miracle Priest.
Oh, yeah.
And I've jammed nothing but this deck in the past 2 days, ever since I saw his list by Surrender. Then Roger has Cube Warlock, Clone Priest, Quest Rogue, and Death Rattle Hunter. So it's the exact same 4 decks, the best deck in the game. Surrender is...
No joke?
Surrender is favored. No, it's, yeah. Okay, you know what? No joke. It's the best deck in the game.
I'm making you commit.
That's right. You dared me to jump off. And I'm taking you with me, TJ. The reason why I like this deck is because it actually has real legs behind its Inner Fire Divine Spirit combos. So when people look at, the combo priest, they're thinking about traditionally like how am I like gonna really land like the big combos and get like minions that can stick? Because if you play like the Questing Adventurer package, you're a little bit vulnerable to the same things as most mid-range decks are vulnerable to, which is just like AoE removal or spot removal against the targets. And then you're just kind of like floundering like, okay, then do I just like go for a big Resurrect plan, or do I play like the 0-9 Steam bot in order to just get big damage up?
Yeah.
None of that. This deck has good cards and good plans, and I just feel like it's so under the radar. And when I was playing this deck, I just kept winning and winning. And whenever I lost, it was purely because it got like the Miracle Rogue draws. It was just like I had nothing but spells. So like, okay, you're gonna lose those games.
But then every other game you win.
Every other game I like won very convincingly.
Yeah, it's always scary when a deck pops up that's building on a game plan that's existed for a very long time. That game plan is Divine Spirit and Inner Fire, but does it in a refined way with a lot of new tools.
Yeah.
You look at the list, it's very lean. Every card is a 2 of, except for Lyra, which is a legendary, and Mass Hysteria, which is something that you don't want to have 2 dead copies of Mass Hysteria in your hand because it doesn't contribute to the Miracle Plan. So on paper, it looks great. I have not seen it in action too much. I've beaten it on ladder a few times. I've lost to it on ladder a few times.
TJ, do you know why this deck also just got a huge shot in the arm? It's because Mass Hysteria doesn't consume the attack of your Inner Fired minion.
This was something that we learned like...
No, this is something that I taught you, TJ. Because you were like...
No. Dan had like a 20 attack Radiant Elemental on board earlier today.
I guess Odd Warrior.
And frantically, as the rope was burning, yelled around the room, does Mass Hysteria consume the attack? Does Mass Hysteria consume the attack? Who knows?
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that my instincts wasn't wrong.
It doesn't. So basically, when you use Mass Hysteria, when you have a giant minion on board, your giant minion will just kill everything else.
Yes.
And then you can attack past the taunts and kill them.
It's just a giant black hole. Everything attacks each other and kills each other, or attacks into your 20 attack minion, and then you hit again. You can attack at that point. So Mass Hysteria from Rastakon's Rumble really pushed, in my opinion, Inner Fire Priest to a new level, and I love it. Now, that being said, this is also a really powerful variant of Priest on Roger's side, the Control Cloning Priest. That's also a great pickup, by the way, Shadow Pain, to shut down the card draw, because Surrender's deck does need a lot of card draw. It's super dependent on drawing. Just like that's why I like calling it the Miracle Priest as opposed to like a Inner Fire combo priest, because sometimes these turns you just go off, and you have Grave Horrors, which is a 12 mana 7/8 taunt that costs 1 less mana for each spell you've cast. The reason why I'm explaining it is because some people haven't seen that card yet. It's very rarely played. And if you haven't played your fair share of Miracle Priest, you end up playing like a bunch of spells off Lyra, Radiant Elemental, you Divine Spirit, Inner Fire, push damage, and you just play Grave Horrors at the very end.
Yeah, that's the extra gas you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
where
I love it.
You think as the opponent of the Miracle Priest, oh, I've gotten through everything. They use Divine Spirit, they use Inner Fire, I've weathered the storm.
Nope.
And then they drop double Grave Horror on you, and you say, well, I'm dead.
Yeah, or they revive like the Witchwood Grizzlies, or they revive their Grave Horrors with Eternal Servitude. It's great. I love this deck. It's so fun. Anyways, Surrender in this position can keep drawing with double Power Word Shield. But the important thing for Roger is that part of the reason why he's willing to extend onto the board here with the Radiant Elemental is because he wants to coin out the Shadow Essence. And in his mind, unless Surrender silences this, he's going to be able to push out big Malygos or Valen or Obsidian Statue stuff, whatever comes out on the other side.
Yeah.
So it's a good move from Roger, but Surrender does have the answer twice over.
Yeah. Surrender is going to think about whether or not to use his second Power Word Shield. Because it is a valuable resource. Because it doesn't just have use like in most priest decks of, oh, I'm just going to give a minion 2 health for tempo and draw a card. It also has the use of, with Lyra, it helps protect it, it draws you an extra card. With your win condition, whatever minion you decide to beef up with Divine Spirit Interfire, that Power Word Shield could be the difference maker. So it's not just an automatic play. Also, he has to think about whether or not he wants to play Acolyte of Pain, which he does. And now it's whether or not he wants to draw an extra card with Northshire Clerk with Circle of Healing.
That time.
A lot of decision points in a very, what seems like a simple turn.
Well, that's what I also like about the deck, too. There's a lot of ways you can take... There's a lot of routes you can take to get your card draw source, assuming you have it, you know? And it's another thing, too. Like, I've gone from, like, 1 card in the hand to 10 in a single turn on, like, turn 4. Because there's just ridiculous amount of card draw that's just in Priest right now.
Yeah, if you open up with Wild Pyro, Northshire Clerk, Acolyte of Pain, and then you draw into a Circle of Healing, it's game over. Imagine if, for instance, Surrender had drawn a Wild Pyromancer instead of a Silence. His hand would be full right now.
Yep. Well, that's the thing. Like, my favorite combos is when I, like, have Radiant Elemental, Wild Pyromancer, and then, like, on turn 4 or 5, I, like, drop the Acolyte.
Drop the girl.
And then I, like, play extra arms, and I'm just, like, buffing everything. I'm drawing a ton of cards, removing your entire board. It just feels really good. By the way, there's only 1 Shadow Word Pain in Roger's deck, so the Shadow Visions didn't have many good targets to dig for. Spellstone is his best raw power card, but I think he's really scared about the implications of, like, a giant minion he can't answer.
Yeah.
And now Surrender has an opportunity to draw a lot of cards here.
Yeah.
Like, he can attack here. He can attack with his Cleric. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness, TJ. I am so excited for this.
I don't know if you could hear it, but Dan just slapped the table out in excitement.
TJ, this Miracle Priest can draw so many cards.
A lot of great card draw here today, Dan.
Okay, that's a meme that people won't understand. Yeah, we'll explain that on Talkstone one day.
Yeah.
But.
Tune in for meme history.
Yeah.
Also, you're watching Hearthstone.
All right, well.
I just got him out all out of the way right now, Dan, so you don't have to deal with it for the rest of the cast. You're welcome.
All right, Surrender going to go for the card draw, Circle of Healing. Oh, the Graveheart. I am frothing at the mouth right now, TJ, because I'm just imagining the combos. I am enamored by this deck. It is so cool. And now Roger gets to do some cool stuff too. He's got his Shadow Essence that he's been waiting for Lord knows who long, or how long at this point.
Yeah, we spent so much time talking about the Miracle Priest that we kind of forget that Roger is also playing a deck that does very cool things.
Yeah, no, the Cloning Gallery is very powerful as well.
I think it's one of the only decks in the game that can OTK on turn 9 without playing a single card before it.
Oh, dude, there's some big combos coming in the next couple turns here. Dude. There are some... Stop me, TJ. You were paid to be here to cast. But well played. Surrender just want to drop the Graveheart or the Witchwood Grizzly here. So this is his last turn before Psychic Scream. So this is his last opportunity to capitalize on it. And by shutting down the Guilty Gargoyle with the Silence, that does give him another window of opportunity here. Grizzly is a 3/6. Graveheart's a 7/8. In fact, he can even attach an Inner Fire. Oh, wait. Yeah, he can attach an Inner Fire and then go for the Graveheart. I like this, because then he still uses a little bit of damage and then kind of forces Roger to use some removal tools. And he even has the kill next turn.
Yeah, it's a lethal setup, which is the big thing. A lethal setup. Wait, so it would be...
It's just Divine Spirit
16,
Inner Fire.
23, 24. So it's not a lethal setup, assuming that he heals for 1.
Oh, yeah. Right. But
But it forces Roger to think about it, because Roger, Divine Spirit plus an Inner Fire is not an unreasonable thing to play around after Surrender just drew 8 cards over the past 2 turns.
Look at the far right. 20 cards remaining versus 11.
Yeah.
This is turn 6. Roger is screwed. He is in big trouble, TJ. He needs Shadow Essence into Obsidian Statue. That is his out.
Yeah, and that's really the only out. I guess Lich King? Oh, Ziliax. Ooh, okay.
That works
We're
really
in business.
well. I was not thinking about that card. That is an excellent pickup.
Surrender out of silences.
Okay, so Surrender can actually extend onto the board here. He can go for an easy value trade with the 7/7, heal it, and then like play an Eternal Servitude. Force Roger to shuffle that into his deck, because one of the things that's actually a big problem is hand size. If you actually struggle with holding too many cards, and your miracle stance, if you will, with Radiant Elemental and Lyra. I played a little Shulk before I got on the plane, okay? Your miracle stance is significantly weaker because you just have you have too many cards.
Apt analysis, Dan.
Yeah. I think I don't mind burning Eternal Servitude in this position just to get the 7. And then you force the Psychic Scream, and then you'll be able to react.
Is it guaguaranteed? Yeah, it is guaranteed.
It is guaranteed. I think only 2 minions died, the Rain Elemental.
Yeah.
And
no, you're right.
Oh, no, wait, no. Yeah, I mean, he also has cards. Like, what if Roger just heals his opponent's minion and just... Actually, he's gonna be in trouble if he does that. He might have to scream this board. Unless Roger wants to be really cheeky and like burn like the 2nd copy of Inner Fire, like if he tries to do healing and hit the Acolyte repeatedly.
Yeah. Brings me back to Summer Championship 2017, the finals. Surrender versus Orange, where Orange tried to go for the mill strategy against Surrender to get him to burn one of the key pieces. It was Raza Priest versus Raza Priest.
Oh yeah, that was the finals to remember.
Yes.
That was a cool moment. Surrender, deep breath, knows that was very likely. Now he can double Servitude. He even gets a Grave Horror #2. So now he can play... Well, hold on. Let's also consider the possibility of the Miracle Priest stuff. Because you always can also drop it at the very end as well.
Yeah. Just double Grave Horror seems pretty good here.
I like it.
And I think he'd play the Eternal Servitude. That way you can just cheapen the copy of Grave Horror that you just drew.
Yeah. Look, we heard that 4-mana 7/7 wasn't enough. It started getting cut from decks. So how about a 4-mana 7/8?
Yeah,
with Taunt.
One thing we're not talking about though is Roger could just win on turn 10.
You're right. He does have the Mind Blast and the Holy Smite,
and he still has Velen, Malagos, and a copy of Radiant Elemental in his deck.
Yep. So if Gilded Gargoyle comes down,
there's still a copy
of Mass Hysteria.
It would still leave a 7/1, or potentially leave a 7/1.
Yeah, it helps constrict the board, and it also reduces the health total.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that's the big part.
Yeah, because he still has not seen a Divine Spirit. He's seen an Inner Fire, and he's seen the Power Word Shields, but no Divine Spirit. So,
didn't he toss a Radiant Elemental into the mix though, so he can't have 2 Radiant Elementals? So
he did, but that's why I said turn 10, because turn 10 still allows a Mind Blast, Holy Smite.
Well, he has the coin now, though.
Oh, he has the coin. So, yeah, he could just win the game next turn. And the minions left in the deck, there's still a Gilded Gargoyle, there's a Lyra, There's a Radiant, so that's 1, 2, 3. Ziliax 4, Velen 5, Lich King 6, Malygos 7, Obsidian Statue 8. So it's actually pretty likely that he wins.
There you go. Is there a way he can stop that?
Well, this could...
Oh, wait. If he's able to get big... Oh, he doesn't have a second Radiant Elemental. Because he had double Divine Spirit. Dude, if he has second Radiant Elemental, he actually has lethal. I mean, that Divine Spirit was really big too, though, just to put him back to 30, but Mind Blast +5 doubled plus Holy Smite. Wait, Holy Smite with Malygos Valen is, yeah, 34. Render second Graveheart.
Yeah, so basically Roger has to whiff. He's got 8. Nope. Okay, now it's guaranteed.
100%?
Yeah, 100%.
Hundo. And that's the game. Roger takes game number 1, Surrender. Unable to put just enough pressure. TJ, it's still the best deck in the game because we get to watch it one more time.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of alluded to it earlier. I said we spend so much time talking about how Surrender's deck can just do cool things, but his cool things take a lot more work than the cloning gallery when you have burn damage already in hand and the minions still in your deck. And with the Obsidian Statue draw, Roger knew you could see him mousing over Mind Blast already when he drew it because he was keeping track, obviously, because he's playing the game.
Meta that it addresses at High Legend that's able to get those big finishes, but...
Well, also Combo Priest has always fit that niche. There was a time when Combo Priest was good when Druid was good. The old types of Druids. Because the one thing that
I remember when Druid was good at this point.
The Druid struggled with dealing with a single big minion. So what would happen is you'd play Combo Priest, you just stick a big... This was back in like the humongous Razor Leaf days.
Oh, yeah.
Where you just silence it, and a big minion early on was death for Druid. Yeah, Silence Priest, which is what we called it. Which was basically Miracle Combo Priest, whatever you want to call it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. Dude. I mean, it made Purify playable.
It did, yeah.
Yeah. Memory lane.
Which was a meme within itself.
Yes, I was there. Prince Kelseth on 2. This is going to be a good test for Surrender's deck because, you know, as much as we'd like to see the Miracle Priest go off and do big things, it has to withstand the test of the curve.
Will your curve withstand the test of time?
Only time will tell.
Dan, that was a Civilization reference.
Oh!
You just talked to me about playing it earlier today.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't play with the sound on, so.
It's in text.
I don't play with my eyes open.
Fair enough. The ultimate gaming experience.
It's how I play Hearthstone, man. Wait, you tell me you play Hearthstone with your eyes open. Look at this guy, Chad.
I play Hearthstone with only taste.
Quickly.
And if I want to attack into this so that the attack's even more awkward, it's a fairly legitimate reason for pause. Because if you attack into the Northshire Cleric, then they have to heal first, and that kind of what's the term? Hamstrings their play.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of back in that same spot. But Surrender having the Powered Shield makes that all trivial. And Roger definitely not happy to see that.
Circle of Healing. Always like to see those when you have a Northshire Cleric on the board.
Yeah.
And I was looking through Roger's deck earlier. It has the 1 copy of Defender of Argus. It also has a Tar Creeper.
Yeah, it's the Language Hacker special.
Yeah. And then the Undasta at the top end.
Yes, I love Undasta.
Yeah. Undasta's good, but I'm still not completely sold on it yet.
What? Undasta's amazing.
So
you definitely don't play Hearthstone with your eyes open.
I like very lean decks, right? And Undasta kind of is another card that can clog up your hand. I think it's the same reason why players cut Charged Devil Sword. It's because, yes, when it works, oh boy, does it work. But when it doesn't, it's stranded. And
that's what Undasta does. It pairs it all together, so that way, if you do draw your beast so that Katharina gets worse, it makes it better.
Yes, in a perfect scenario, Undasta's fantastic.
No, it's like a hedge scenario. It's like great from the hand, it's great from the pull, and it also addresses your hand issues.
Unless you don't have beasts.
Your deck is like, yeah, okay.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 beasts total. And a lot of times, those are going to get pulled by Katharina before Undasta's.
Isn't that a little all-in on Katharina, do you think? Or are you saying that's because of that it's streamlined?
Yeah, I don't know. I like the card. Cool card. Lots of flavor. The soul of the card is on point.
Oh, you're a Blizzard employee, all right. Okay, so why don't we just let the game settle it, TJ?
Okay.
If Undasta is relevant in this game, you have to craft a golden Undasta, and you have to disenchant your Katharina.
Joke's on you, Dan. I don't even have Katharina. No, I'm just kidding. I do. I think I already have a golden Undasta, so.
You have to uncraft, you have to disenchant your golden Undasta.
And then recraft golden
Undasta. Golden Undasta.
Okay.
With 2 golden Charged Devil Swords.
Okay. Deal.
All right. Now we can talk about the game. Now that the wage has been set, or the wager rather, and I cannot talk.
It's okay, Dan. Welcome to my world.
Surrender doing the good play of drawing cards. This is just what you want to do, and silencing the Houndmaster Shaw. Relatively straightforward early game, but you know, I wonder if Roger is going to be able to land this big Q play dead on the Houndmaster Shaw. That is going to be very devastating, because the one thing that this Priest deck doesn't do very well is deal with big wide boards because they don't have Psychic Scream. They're solely dependent on that one copy of Mass Hysteria, as well as Pyromancer clears.
Yes. Or crazy stuff with Lyra, but that's many turns away.
Yeah, well... Do you kill the Radiant or do you kill the Cleric? I think they've drawn enough cards. So if they choose to draw even more cards, it's not that big of a deal. But it's what they do with those cards is what's scary. So killing the Radiant Elemental seems a little bit of a higher priority to me.
Yeah, but there's also the fact that the Northshire Cleric already has higher health. So it's easier to use the cards that you've drawn on the Northshire Cleric to, say, trade over the Houndmaster Shaw, which you want to have survive so you can go with the Q plus play dead next turn on it.
Yes.
But Surrender's got nothing to contest this board with. Extra arms?
Oh, he's got arms.
Arms for days. Like 8 of them.
Trying to look here. Yeah, I don't think he's got a good way to stop this Q play dead. It might be like a Witchwood Grizzly Pass kind of scenario here, because you have so many cards. It's like you got, and honestly, if they do play Q play dead, you still got a pretty good response with the Mass Hysteria, because they still got a trade.
Yeah.
Actually, no, because yeah, you still have the. You can attack instead with the cube. Yep, that's exactly.
And if you Mass Hysteria, it's just likely that there's 2 Houndmaster Shaws on the board when it's all said and done.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. I was like thinking about it. I was like, oh, I forgot the cube. You just attacked too.
Yeah.
So silence number 2 is very important.
Silence number 2 plus Mass Hysteria. Oh God, Dan. I really don't want to disenchant my Golden Undasta and craft another Golden Undasta.
I don't need to. Well,
uh-oh. Okay, no, it's good.
Yeah, that was a great removal for Surrender, but that's his only Mass Hysteria, and that's a really important card, specifically against Death Rattle Hunter, which has big bombs like King Crush, Undasta, and Spider Bombs. Like, that is just, you know, you're so scared to develop into a Mass Hysteria board. For that reason alone, Priest absolutely farms any kind of Death Rattle Hunter in the late stages of the game. You have Psychic Scream to deal with any big cubes. You have Mass Hysteria to clear the boards. So if you guys are facing non-stop Hunters as much as you guys claiming that you are, just play Priest.
But not Miracle Priest.
No,
Other Priest.
Play Miracle Priest.
Well, Miracle Priest doesn't have the Psychic Scream.
So that way I can play Hunter and farm you guys. A second Witcher Grizzly here is not bad. I think what makes it very scary is the threat of Katharina on turn 8. So what's the best possible setup here now that Surrender
maybe
has a lot to worry about?
Eternal Servitude for the Witchwood Grizzly?
Yeah, it gets punished by the Spider Bomb.
Yeah.
But that's definitely not nearly as bad as the other possibility with its Katharina and to get wrecked. And you can even hedge too. You can play the second. You can play the Acolyte of Pain, which you're okay with, like kind of getting destroyed very easily. You know, is there a Mossy Horror in this deck? No.
No.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's like the hand's pretty full. Surrender would actually probably prefer not to even have the Acolytes in the hand right now, so that way he has like more reason to go for like the Radiant and the Lyra combos as the game develops. Surrender hovering over the Witchwood Grizzly, thinking about dropping it. I think I like the Eternal Servitude a little bit better for the Acolyte reasons, but it's still okay. Oh, wow. Ooh. Oh, this is greedy, and I love it. You know, setting up the Radiant Elemental preemptively. So that way Lyra can come down and make some big plays.
Unfortunately, Flanking Strike makes quick work of the Radiant Elemental.
Yeah, it doesn't work out, but I like the idea. Flanking Strike, Spider Bomb play dead, clears the entire board. Surrender takes a wild Pyromancer. I think what's funny is I think the Kelsa buff actually kind of works a little bit against it right now because you want the Spider Bomb to like kill the Pyromancer mid combo, but because it has higher health, it'll like wipe the same time the Wolf does.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny how that works.
It's a small case, but I think in order to have the rest of your minions buffed in your deck, +1/+1, you're willing to accept these types of sacrifices, Dan.
I agree. Surrender has the Pyromancer Acolyte draws.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a guaranteed third spell to chain.
He does. He has a circle.
Well, you start off with the circle.
And then you use extra arms twice.
And then you use extra arms.
It's not great.
Twice, but then you don't draw cards, so your Acolyte of Pain is
Yeah, I like the Acolyte instead.
Let the pain speak to me.
I mean, you can even justify using the second Acolyte. But I don't think he wants to overdraw either. So you can maybe just use extra arms here.
More arms?
Even more arms. Okay. Less tracking.
Katharina time. Katharina +2 beasts? Nope.
Second Devilsaur Egg. Another Candle Shot. So a lot of repetition. Actually, it's exactly the same cards he has in his hand or in play. He has a Candle Shot equipped. He has a Flanking Strike he just played.
And a Devilsaur Egg in hand.
Devilsaur Egg in hand. It's pretty amusing how that works.
Surrender is starting to take a lot of pressure, though. This that Kelsa buff's starting to add up.
Yep.
Putting a lot of extra damage on board. Going to bring Surrender all the way down to just 11 health.
Yeah, this is really bad because of the Spider Bomb. If he was able to stick like a Grave Horror or the... oh my goodness, that is a big time draw right now.
But he can't get the recurring unless he plays something alongside of it.
Yeah, he can Northshire Cleric.
It goes for the
along with it.
50-50.
I mean, even just wiping 6 damage off the board is still fairly relevant in this position because then you can Eternal Servitude at the very end and play Grave Horror. Right? Is my math right?
1, 2...
Or 8 + 2. No, actually you can't.
I think you're 1 off.
Yeah, I think he's 1 minute off.
Do you like to play with fire?
Roger nodding his head, saying like, okay, I was kind of prepared for this possibility. Surrender immediately going for it. Another Eternal Servitude.
Ooh. So if Surrender makes it past pretty much this turn, which he should.
Right. I mean, Hunter's in a top deck scenario. He's just going to revive the Grizzly, and then it just pulls out. Yes, correct. Chuck.
Oh, no!
Oh, that is terrible news. Oh my goodness, I forgot about the possibility that there's more than those 3 minions that died. This deck's terrible.
Oh, any damage. There's actually just not much earth damage. It's like King Crush is it.
6, 9. Katharina. Oh, wow. Well, Roger can't close it either. Talk about awkward. But he can put, you know, Ziliax and Carnivorous Cube both have their merits here in this position. Witchwood Grizzly probably a lot weaker than the other options.
Yeah.
I mean, both silences have been used. So Carnivorous Cube is more likely to stick, and you can activate your egg this way.
That's 2 like pretty poor outcomes, 1 for each player in a row.
Well, it definitely really stinks for Surrender a little more, considering that he's about to die. But yeah, this cube on the egg, definitely a nice consolation prize for Roger in terms of board presence. Oh, by the way, if Surrender doesn't heal, he's dead. This is looking very bad for our Korean player.
Oh!
Okay, now we're talking.
All right, so this Eternal Servitude.
How many arms, T? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, Eternal Servitude, but how many arms, TJ? It's probably going to only be 1 because he needs the hero power himself.
Yeah, so you start off with the hero power.
We start with the draw. Draw first.
I guess. I would start off with the hero power just so I got it out of the way and knew how much mana I had to work with.
You are such an even lock player. You draw last every time.
I do.
But Eternal Servitude, Double Grave Horror, and a hero power. What is going on?
What in the world?
Wait, Radiant Elemental, is that
Radiant Elemental
okay?
is pretty good, though.
Yeah, it's a nice consolation prize, which apparently is all that's being given out at today's fair.
Yeah.
I walked around the streets of Taipei, TJ, and let me tell you, don't play the gacha games. You never win. It's like playing Miracle Priest. Divine Spirit. Slap that bad boy on there. Dude, Surrender has a chance.
He does.
That's all it is. It's a chance. 20 health's a lot. Is there going to be a Hunter's Mark? King Crush is too late. Wait, is it too late?
It's too late. Well, it's too late to beat him this turn, but Surrender only has 9 cards left. Roger only has 10 cards left. Oh, 5. They just updated. What the heck?
Imagine
I blinked and they changed.
Imagine Roger whipping out the most random crushing walls of all time. Gosh, that would be... Whew. Sweating thinking about it.
Absolute worst crushing walls positioning of all time. Don't at me.
I'm not disagreeing there. Okay, so there's 2 eggs in the cube, right? So you trade, you play King Crush, you remove one of the 7/8s, and then you remove. You definitely need to tack into that Grave Heart to stop a single Inner Fire from ending this game. Nine-man, 9/9 with the Kelsef buffs. Did you get the attack off?
He did not.
Shadow Visions with the Lyra.
And a Radiant Elemental already on board.
And TJ, there's still more arms. Oh, he's attacking first. He wants the combo. He smells Inner Fire's drawn. How much damage is this? If he gets a Divine Spirit, it's just straight up the game. There it is.
Nailed it.
This is the best deck of all time.
Best deck of all time because it has a 50% win rate in this matchup. In this match.
This was an unfavored matchup, TJ.
It was.
To data.
Not that there's that much data, but still. I'll give you that one, Dan. I'm just happy that Undasta, we didn't even see it.
It got the job done. And
Let the hunt begin.
well, I can't really disagree with you, and we're about to find out. Surrenders Cube Warlock against Death Rattle Hunter. Roger has some of the best tools, though, to handle that. He got Spider Bomb and Witcher Grizzly. That's going to handle Doom cards really easily.
Yeah.
All right, well, do you keep Rexar in this matchup? I mean, it's one of your more powerful cards against late game scenarios, but I feel like you care a little bit more about the pressure.
I think it's
your
too slow.
Regular hero power.
Yeah, I think it's too slow.
Yeah, like it's much better against decks that just don't have explosive turns, because Rexar is about like the slow incremental advantages, and Cube Warlock's about like 0 to 60.
Yeah. Okay. Reasonable hand.
Reasonable hand on both sides. Surrender's hand is not the greatest, but it's definitely solid because he has like the Librarian 1, the Lackey, and the Spellstorm to upgrade it. Roger's got like decent stuff.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, I'd like to take all of them, please.
You could hear the resounding ooh from the crowd behind us.
So Deathstalker Rexar, Candle Shot, or Prince Kelseth? And the answer to that is yes. You would like all of them.
Master's Call, please.
Right, or Omega Assembly.
Master's Call reads, discover a card. If they're all good, draw them all.
Yeah. It's moments like this where people pull up that there's like, why is tracking played? It's so bad. Discard your most valuable cards. And then you have the other people who are like, well, Raynad once said that if you don't fatigue, it doesn't matter. And then they upvote and downvote each other ad nauseum, rinse and repeat. There you go. I saved you a trip on Reddit today. Congratulations, everybody. You just gained back 5 minutes.
Well, if Raynad said it.
Well, actually, a lot of people say it.
But the only one I really care about is Raynad. I mean, he's a professional Hearthstone player. I saw him playing on Twitch earlier today.
That's right, yeah. Where he was losing in the tournament and complaining that he didn't get to practice enough. Some things never change, man. Death taxes and Raynad complaining about Hearthstone tournaments. But we're not talking about the Specialist Showdown, which you guys should definitely watch, by the way. A great tournament organized by Esports Arena and crew, where basically like class specialists for each class, like Fibonacci for Warriors, a lot for Priests.
With a very
Death Star for
cool
Hunter.
and unique new actual gameplay format, which is refreshing.
Yeah, it's a single deck with sideboard, I believe. Or single class with sideboard.
Single class sideboard, yeah.
Now back into the Cube Warlock versus Death Rattle Hunter. It kind of stalled out for a little bit. Rope back here and forth, but in the end they just hero powered. And the reason is because Roger's really trying to figure out a timing for his coin. I think that's the most important thing. How do he utilize his coin up against a deck that's just trying to explode on really important turns? And Surrender now has a Mountain Giant, so now the action will really ramp up. And if Roger can survive up until that coin Katharina turn, he's going to be able to turn the corner, assuming Surrender doesn't get a big Void Lord in the way. And then to top it all off, Surrender already has his end game with Blood Reaver Gul'dan in hand. So this is going to be real fire real quick.
Roger also has his end game with both Death Star, Rexar, and Katharina.
Yeah, but I feel like Rexar is not going to be really relevant unless it comes down to a war of attrition. What a draw!
Yeah, but that Spider Bomb kind of needs to be dealt with right now.
That's true. You want to protect your mountain.
Yeah,
right?
because if you play Skull this turn and Roger has a Death Rattle activator, then it sticks around and you have to deal with it next turn anyway. But
punish.
Summon me to.
I guess he could just Spellbreaker it next turn and protect the Doom Guard that he summons, but
That's true. Yeah, so if they cube the Spider Bomb, you silence the cube. If they simply play dead or Terror Scale Stalker, you also silence that. So this is actually a good recognition and not overreacting to what is a minor threat in the bigger picture.
yeah. Because effectively, even though Mountain Giant, you'd expect a lot more from it, trading 2 for 1 is still pretty good.
Yeah. And also Mountain Giants, you know, at an 8-5, so there's a lot of ways it could have gotten answered anyways, like a flanking strike in this position.
Yeah.
And ultimately, what is more important? Is it the Mountain Giant ending the game early, a la Even Warlock, or is it, you know,
Demon pressure.
big swings on the board with things like Blood River Goldan? And Surrender is prepared with a massive punish. Silence on the cube here is exactly what you're looking for.
And picks up a Void Lord, which means that he's going to pull that out next turn, plus Lackey plus Dark Pact to pull another demon out. So already we'll have 3 out of his 4 possible demons in the pool. I mean, there's potential for a lot more with Cube, but the 4 natural, homegrown, organic demons.
Yeah, you know,
Not those artificial GMO demons.
gee, what? Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what Surrender's thinking about here. I was like, is there an alternative play to the Spellbreaker? And so I was looking at Spellstone, I was looking at Shroom Brewer. I think it's because Surrender feels like the cube is still not threatening just yet. Because even if you play dead the cube, like obviously he's going to silence it now, but even if they play dead the cube, the Spider Bombs still themselves have to like attack or like be triggered. Yes. So you still had an opportunity to respond, but I still think silencing this cube is great because that's pretty much what you want. When Katharina hits the board, it's usually the battle cry that's more impactful than the death rattle.
Yeah.
Firebomb number 2, though, gives Roger a board clear. He can deal with the Doomguard, prevent a cube Dark Pact in the following end. Although, I think Roger would be like, well, if he had cube and Dark Pact, wouldn't he have used it just now on the Doomguard? So, perhaps in his mind, not as important.
But it does clear the board, and he sticks a Spider Bomb, which forces Surrender to deal with that before he's to play another big threat.
It's true.
And then if Surrender has a turn where all he's doing is removing the board, then boom, coin Katharina onto basically an empty board state is lights out.
Yeah.
Also, Surrender is quite low. He's at 18.
That's true. I think that's a big deciding factor when you kind of weigh the pros and cons. I like, you know, trying to pressure and go for the damage. All right, guaranteed clear it is. Warlord being put out is bad news for Roger, though. He does not want to see that. And there's a little bit more that came from. Surrender also has the Dark Pact. He also has a Defile in this position, which is pretty interesting.
It is.
Because the Defile doesn't have that big of an impact on Surrender's play, because if he ends up defiling, he can end up just playing like a Shroombo or life tapping. Sees what happens first with the draw. Ooh, that's a good pickup.
Yes, it is.
So want a life tap or Shroom Brewer here?
Just want something on board. He is actually piling on a lot of damage himself. He's got 7 uncontested power on board, plus he's going to have an additional 5 from Doomguard next turn.
Yep. And, you know, this Katharina is going to be pretty low impact, unless TJ...
Undasta!
Where's my...
Big Daddy Undasta, one time. Oh, he was already attacking. I was ready for it, but it's the king himself.
Oh, is Cube lethal here?
Roger's so upset. He's like, how do you keep having demons to get pulled out? You were right, man. Cube, they can't answer the weapon.
Cube would be exact lethal here, so Surrender's going to tap. Is it a Cube? It's a Godfrey. Good in a different way.
Yeah, it's great. It's still good.
Yeah, still Surrender protects these minions, pushes more damage.
Rexar is great in this spot too. Helps you clear off most of the board. So yeah, Rexar's battle cry ends up being the reason why it's a useful pickup here. Much better than the candle shot or kill set. We need big impact demons. He picks so fast. One of them was Loose Specimen, which I think is one of his better possible minions to get. It looks like he has Cave Hydra.
Cave Hydra. That's good Blood River Gul'dan territory.
Yes, that's probably what he's thinking about, honestly.
Yeah.
Like in the late game, how do I answer a big Blood River Gul'dan
Yeah.
swing?
All right, second possessed lackey's dead. He's got 1 demon left in the deck, and that is a Void Lord.
Right, and he can defile it out? Probably just Dark Pact. Defile has a lot of uses.
Yes. Oh, yes. They'll
Yeah, Dark Pact, and of course he's going to tap.
Tap Blast.
Yeah, tap Blast.
But he needed to do that because that's his last demon in his deck. Did not want you to draw it. Oh, 1 turn off. Still good to have, though.
What was the second minion for this Cave Hydra? It was a 3 mana, so it was the Poisonous. It was a Cobra, right? So it was a 2 mana, 1 mana, and then the Cobra.
Yes, I think so.
So it's a Cave Hydra.
Poisonous minion?
Yeah, Cobra, 2/3. So
He
it's
needs, so he needs the Handmaster Shaw.
it's a 4/7 Poisonous.
Yep.
What would you call it? Cleave?
Yeah, Cleave or... Yeah.
Or Swipey?
Swipey. Yeah. Great, very apt description. You are a wordsmith far beyond your years, TJ.
Thank you.
And if I'm Roger, I feel like just even this egg is a little too weak. I'm even thinking about just Defender of Argus, because what if my opponent just plays the Blade of Gul'dan? Actually, you can't kill him this turn, can he?
We only got 2 Doom Guards in the pool.
It's tough. This is a tough spot. Death Rattle Hunter does not have an answer to the Scold Minori. It pulled 3 demons, and then the Possessed Lackey got the 4th. And now Surrender has an opportunity to just Blood River Gul'dan and, you know, bite the game away. Yeah, I like Blood Reaver Gul'dan. And all he has to do is suck Roger till he's dead.
and shadow.
You make it sound so simple.
I mean, it is that simple for now. How does Roger deal with this board? He doesn't, even if he had the Houndmaster Shaw clear, it's like he's still struggling with like the board state.
Yeah. That Sucker Rexar can be a big deal. The problem is Roger has very little life to work with.
No Shaw.
He can get a Poisonous Bloatbat.
Yes, but it doesn't have the rush with the
Well, he has Play Dead.
Oh yeah, it's Play Dead, yeah.
Yeah. So with the Play Dead draw,
It doesn't have to be poison. It also could be Lifesteal.
it could be Lifesteal. Yeah, that's actually
To buy him time. Because the Lifesteal, he deals 2 damage guaranteed, and then he deals 2 damage with the Death Rattle. That is not it.
Oh man.
That is definitely not it. Or you can just see that Roger. He's trying. The clocks, the cogs are turning in his head. He's like touching his head, trying to power it on. He is just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. He's trying. He's fighting. But is he just dead?
Tracer trade 4 goes down to 6. Hellfire trade 1 Void Lord in. Second Void Lord goes face. You push 9. So no.
Close. Yeah, it's not quite lethal, but it's fairly close.
My hunger grows.
And Surrender has opportunities to really cement the board state here. And remember that Roger, if he just gets put down to 2 life anyways, dies to 1 last suck.
1 suck to rule them all.
Name of my autobiography.
I must feed now.
Surrender gonna destroy the Switchwood Grizzly and push for the final bits of damage, but Roger still has the ability to find that Build-A-Beast. I mean, he's got 2 activators now, but unless he gets Poisonous Blowpat, or even just like some kind of like Plated Beetle, like he's that desperate.
Just anything that gains life. Nope.
GG. Surrender up 2-1. 1 game away from sending home. The most popular Taiwanese Hearthstone streamer. I think Roger's like the leader in that category, and I think most of the fans that are cheering him on, they really want him to win. I think him and Tom are like the 2 players that the hometown crowd is cheering for the most.
Yeah, Surrender also has a pretty dedicated fan base that's more, that's ninja.
I don't know.
Today, Dan said something really funny, but he didn't say it. He just told me to tell him to say it.
We're starting to get a little cabin fever at this point because it's been 12 hours since TJ and I have been sitting next to each other at the venue. Actually, a little bit longer than that. But thank you, everyone who's tuned in around the world. We recognize that this is really rough time zones for people at the beginning of the day and maybe at the end of the day for all the people around. But, you know, we're here at Game 4 of Surrender versus Roger. The winner of this goes to the round of 8.
Yep.
And I believe the winner of this plays the bottom match.
Which they'll play the winner of the final match of the day, which is Frozen versus Kin.
Yes. And they are waiting backstage, and that'll be it. We actually made pretty good time on schedule. We estimated to end at 10 p.m.
And we're gonna
EST.
Yeah, we're gonna come up pretty close to that actually. So nicely done, whoever scheduled this event.
Oh yeah, when you schedule, 12 to 14 hours, I assume that 8 matches is enough.
The funny thing is, on the schedule that they gave us, they had very specific times for when things were supposed to end.
Yeah.
The broadcast today was supposed to end at approximately 9:56 p.m. And Dan and I are supposed to sign off, or the last match was supposed to end at 9:56 p.m. and Dan and I are supposed to sign off at exactly 10:01 p.m.
Yeah, according to schedule. Now that being said, let's go ahead and focus back on this game. This is Mid-Range Hunter. Now this is Mid-Range Hunter with, the Dire Frenzy special. We saw Hoy play it, and if Hoy played it, you can definitely put your money on the bank that Surrender and Hoy talked a lot about it and maybe weighed the pros and cons of such.
Yeah.
Surrender has that Witchwood Grizzly, and because Roger has a double Spellstone, I'm going to say that this aggression is going to be thwarted very early on.
Yeah.
That double Spellstone is actually so important.
I don't know if this gives away the fact that he has double Spellstone. Because normally you tap first, unless there's a very specific 2-mana play that you want to make.
Right.
But I guess he has Doomsayer in the deck, and Doomsayer could be a valuable play in this.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't give it away. I don't know, it's just a small thing, because most of the time you tap first and then Librarian second, because if you picked up a Spellstone with the tap, then it would get buffed up by the Librarian, where it otherwise wouldn't.
There's also the question of does Roger even want a life tap?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Like, Mid-Range Hunter is like a really powerful deck at leveraging their existing board. And I mean, look, 10 damage on turn 3. People like mock the Timberwolf, but when they start working together like this, it's really powerful. And now Surrender's like, man, I'm doing so much damage. Oh, he messed up. He could have actually pushed 1 extra damage this turn if he didn't want to enable the Hooked Reaver. Because...
Well, there's no Hooked Reaver, it's Cube Warlock.
Oh yeah, what am I talking about? I'm an idiot.
I mean, I think Cube Warlock could be good in Cube Warlock also.
I'm so
stupid. To be fair, to try and bail you out of that one.
Sign me out, TJ. I'm done. But if it was even Warlock, that is something to consider.
Yes. If it was even Warlock, Dan, you're a gosh darn genius.
Yeah. So the trade was around Hellfire then, right? Yeah,
yes.
That makes the most sense. The Crackling Razor Maw for the plus health to keep it alive. Roger, does he feel comfortable enough to drop the Mountain Giant here? If you're not dropping it here, you're not going to drop it for pretty much the rest of the game, it feels like, because you don't have much time afterwards. You're going to be scrambling, and you have better recruit opportunities. You're Your opponent's going to develop stronger minions, so you might have to Spellstone.
Yeah, usually Mountain Giant plus followed up with Spellstone to protect it ends up being the better choice. Roger's hand just really isn't doing much outside of that.
Oh, boy. Spring Paw. Now, here comes the question. Does Surrender use the cute Spring Paw, or does he use the Savage one? He doesn't have to actually play the links,
Aren't
though.
they both? Savage?
I don't want to get in this with you, TJ. We've argued enough on this broadcast. He shouldn't play it because of Defile Threat.
Ooh, this is, Roger's dead. He has to Spellstone this 4-2 and do nothing else. That's the only way he survives. Then High Main 6 to board uncontested, and then Roger has 0 follow-up.
Dude.
So many.
Maybe Hunter pushes the damage. The dam. It breaks the dam.
That's the new saying for the kids these days. Oh yeah, I played Hearthstone earlier today. I really pushed the dam.
It's probably some new objective for the Haas developers to look into.
Kids these days, Dan. No respect for the English language.
No mastery either, apparently.
Yeah.
Almost out of time.
I don't know. If Roger plays the Spellstone, that's a losing play. His best play might be just to possess Lackey and hope the opponent doesn't have damage. Oh, that is the game. Mid-range Hunter. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow. Jeez. To top it all off, second kill command. Doesn't even matter.
10% luck, 20% skill, 15% chance for command to kill. And that is